Hi everybody, this is Dan Stolebarger and welcome to this week's KFIR Middle East update. It's the week of July 6th. Let me encourage you to go to our website at holygroundexplorations.com in order to access the PDF PowerPoint that really completes this week's presentation. So make sure you check that out so that you can get much more information than what we have time to record here on YouTube. So let's jump in to what's going on this week in the Middle East. Our weekly headlines deal with, we've got the World Cup going on, and I'm not sure this hit your news, but an Israeli family was rescued by Belgium soccer fans and avoided near lynching at the World Cup in Moscow. The Tunisian fans who instigated the attack started to scream Palestine at the Israeli family when they saw the Israeli flag. And as you know, Tunisia, that's where Yasser Arafat called home for so many years. So no major surprise there, but thanks to the Belgium soccer fans. The IDF reinforced the Golan on Sunday with armored units, tanks, artillery in response to the heavy fighting on the Syrian side of the border between the military of President Bashar Assad and the rebel forces. We do have an article here. It appears that the rebel forces, not the rebel forces, but Assad's forces have taken over the abandoned UN buildings or compound that's on the Golan, and this is to grid the consternation of Israel. You can read that complete article with the PDF that I referred to. In the midst of all of this, the refugees that are streaming to the borders of Israel from Syria, thousands of internally displaced refugees have escaped renewed fighting in Syria's civil war towards the Israeli-Syrian border, where the IDF has provided tons of supplies for those that are desperately in need. And once again, you don't usually hear about the humanitarian aid of the Israelis to the Syrian refugees. I just want to point that out. And then, sadly to say, the Germans are attempting to broker a deal now to swap the remains of 2 IDF soldiers and 2 Israeli civilians that are held in Gaza by Hamas at this particular time for the release of Hamas terrorism. This is a cruel scenario. We went through this with Gilad Shalit. Remember the release of Gilad. It was 1 Israeli soldier for 1,027 terrorists. And it went on for quite some time, back and forth. Right when you thought there would be hope, the rug got pulled out. In the same way, it's just cruel punishment. I don't put much stock in this, but we'll wait and see. Israel looks back at that exchange with Gilad, and they have said we can never do that again. Many of those terrorists that were released, basically got right back in the trenches again. And so we'll just have to wait and see. But there are 2 Israeli soldiers that were killed in the last operation in Gaza, and of course Hamas is hanging on to their remains, and Israel's desperate to get their boys back home. So we'll wait to see what happens there. And then on a lighter note, but yet as crazy as it may sound, an Iranian general recently claimed that Israel was manipulating Iranian weather by stealing Iran's clouds to create a water shortage. I'm saying this with a straight face. The word bizarre does not aptly describe the latest Iranian libel against Israel. They're cloud stealers now, causing the drought in Iran. Unbelievable. Well, Stuart Force, this is, you'll see this article, the father of Taylor Force. We've talked a lot about the Taylor Force Act that was passed in Congress. It's now law that regulates the amount of monies that are given to the Palestinians, especially in light of this pay for slay. The U.S. has basically said no monies that are given to the Palestinians can be used for stipends for terrorists. Well, this same concept was passed in the Knesset, and Stuart Force, the father of Taylor Force, attended on Monday the Knesset vote. And again, there's massive reaction among the Palestinians concerning this, but you can read that article. And again, the next article says PA welfare payment. The top Palestinian Authority officials on Tuesday slammed the new Israeli law that will deduct funds to the Ramallah government equivalent to the amount that the PA pays out to convicted terrorists and the families of Palestinians killed while carrying out these attacks. Sarib Erekat, I guess that's how you say it, Secretary General of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, said the move threatened the existence of cash-strapped Palestinian Authority. It was passed 87-15 in the Knesset, but once again, this has just caused tensions to continue to heighten. The cauldron is bubbling. The bottom line is Israel's same with the U.S. We're not going to pay the terrorists. And the welfare system, the money that's given, of course, it's all about the money. Follow the money trail when it comes to the Palestinians. Well, the Aussies have kind of followed up on this as well. On Monday, Australia stated that it has ended its direct aid to the Palestinian Authority, once again because of the capacity of the Palestinians to pay those that are convicted of, quote, politically motivated violence. And so it seems to be a trend, and you can understand why, if you're following the money, the Palestinians are up in arms concerning all of this. Well, we look internally, we look at the Palestinian situation. We've still yet to hear about Trump's so-called ultimate peace plan. But as we look north now to the Golan Heights, things are about to reach a boiling point in the Golan. Syria recently has took over the abandoned UN base at Old Kenetra, and Israel is vowing to root them out. I'll give you a map on the Golan Heights so you can see where the tensions are and the flashpoints are at this time. And again, this map that has the red and white stripes is going to show also this is the border where the refugees are streaming to. Right when you think that there might be hope for peace, our friends at the Palestinian Media Watch, they truly tell it like it is. And there was a song that's been streaming throughout the West Bank. Pregnant mothers all over the world are busy, usually imagining the future of their unborn children, wishing them the best. But the Palestinian Authority is promoting a song lately which mothers are taught to see their unborn fetuses as a future martyr for Palestine. The song has been broadcast on official PA radio and now on the official PA television stations. Here's the quote: Our martyrs are convoys, and our bones are mountains. We don't surrender to the lowly. We aren't deterred by imprisonment. Palestine is etched on the heart of the fetus, a proud martyr in his mother's womb. And the Arab state will remain ours. Arab, 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 Palestine. We hold the rifles to our chest and our eyes are raised to you. Our homes are trenches and our souls are the sacrifice for you. O Jerusalem, you will not remain stolen. Catchy little tune, right? So again, right when you think that there is even the slightest possibility of any kind of peace process, you see how that catches on. Also, Abbas is failing health-wise, and the question is always, who can replace Mahmoud Abbas? Apparently, the polls are stating that Palestinian arch-terrorist Marwan Baghdadi, who is currently serving 5 life sentences for murdering Israelis, would receive about 30% of the votes in an election for PA president's successor. The Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh comes in second with a 23%, but this jailed terrorist, he's jailed for life by Israel, would win the most votes if an election were held to find a successor for the 82-year-old Palestinian Authority, Mahmoud Abbas. And this was a survey of over 3,000 people on Wednesday, right when you think, hey, maybe there'll be a possibility, wonder what this next chapter is. And can you imagine the PA president being imprisoned on 5 life sentences for murdering Israelis? We're going to find peace in that situation? Pretty ridiculous. And then you can read the article on your own, since we're just about out of time, concerning the Temple Mount. 4 young Jewish girls are finally free. They spent the night and being detained on suspicion of praying at the gates of the Temple Mount. They spent the night in jail because they refused to sign a police document agreeing to a restraining order banning them from approaching or entering the old city of Jerusalem for the next 6 days. Once again, this is the world in which we're living. One of the things that we end with is a reminder that he who keeps Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. God knows. Our times are in his hands. The times of Israel, the times of these world powers are in the hands of the Almighty. Amen. God bless you. And that's the report for this week.